All right, good afternoon. We're back at it for another week, April 18th, 2022. And you can see here, really, we just had a range day. Not sure if the overnight, or well, the lows for the day are here or down here. Either way, you get some action right here for a midline. Looks like the midline gets more touches down here, like that. So we'll leave it like that. But yeah, just a range day. I would say the bias was up because we didn't hit these lows down here. Yeah, so let's take a look. So early on, these are some really good trades, but the signal bars were just very large. So definitely be aware of that. But you have a second entry and really good signal bar, really good setup off the trend channel. We had this breakdown here, but I've heard Max say that these, I don't know, the trend lines are like a little different in the overnight, so it's not as scary if you think about that going long here, even though this is a doji. When you get a higher low right here, and me personally, I'd probably be thinking that it should test these highs. So I like both those entries. It also looks like this is actually the second entry long. So this is all too far from the EMA. We break up into this range at what turned out to be the highs of the day. And you get this double test kind of right here. It looks like we created the level here, tested it once, tested it twice. But it's below the EMA. It's a bad signal bar, so it's a little risky. Higher low right here. Actually, that's the second entry long, so you very well might be considering that. I'm going to mark it green because you're going into the highs there. You get a first failed second entry short right here, and that's off the trend channel, and we haven't really had much of an overshoot, so I think that's worth it. And that makes two legs down, two legs of correction. I mean, you could also look at it like one leg of correction. That's what it looks like. And yeah, it looks like maybe, well, I'll just leave it at that. It looks like this is one leg of correction. Maybe this is like a smaller leg. You break up into this congestion and you get this lower high, but it's just a lower high. You might consider that because now I'm looking and you get the first entry, second entry, and then you get the lower high. So you might consider that. It just looks congestive to me. First entry, failed second entry short right here, and that looks pretty good. I just don't like how all these dojis, so I'm going to mark that aggressive as well. And then you get a first entry, second entry, confirming this spike and channel up. I just didn't like that signal bar, and that was congestive too. Look at all these dojis, and then you have three bars overlapping. But then you come up to these overnight highs. That looks like a matching high right here, and then you make a lower high, and then you get a matching lower high, super bearish bar. That was hard to ignore. I think that's a good entry right there. And it's a little scary because the EMA is right there, but with the rest of that context, I think you got to go short there. You got a second entry short right here. It's kind of like an inside bar though, so it's not a great setup. We come all the way down here, too far from the EMA. You get a first entry, second entry short, great setup. Probably the clearest trade of the day right there, in my opinion. And then we make a new low down here and some congestion, shoots out, and then it reverses first entry, failed second entry short. That's also a second entry long. And I think because we haven't made it to the overnight lows, this one looks pretty good. I think this is a little advanced for me anyway, because I'd probably have my trend channel drawn like that. You get an overshoot that leads to a break, and then it just rockets up, and you don't have any way to enter that, unfortunately. And this is technically a first failed second entry long, and with a bar that bearish, I think you can take that. It's just, it looks like it's a lot of risk. That's like 4 points. And we just go chop back and forth here, and then you make a first failed second entry long. That's a second entry short. It's congestive. At this point, we're ranging, but we came off the high, so we're expecting to go lower. And then you get a first entry, failed second entry long. It's far from the EMA though, so that's aggressive. But that was it until market close. That's all I saw that I liked. So hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. God bless.